Hey guys, I'm Livy. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you a realistic what I eat in a day. So, I eat a kind of carnivore-ish diet, but it's mainly like an animal-based whole food diet, if you've ever heard of that. Before I show you what I eat in a day, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself so you're not like, who is this random girl trying to teach me about nutrition? So I went to school for exercise science where I met my husband, who also went to school for exercise science. We became exercise physiologists. I was planning on going to PA school, but he got drafted into the minor leagues, which was super cool. So we moved, didn't end up going to PA school. The Lord has better plans. And so thankful for how everything ended up working out. But I was an EMT, also worked in the emergency department for a little while. And then my husband and I were both personal trainers in person, and then I did some online stuff, also nutrition coach. So I've had my fair share of being in the health field, and then really just dug into research on my own, mainly through like Weston A. Price, if you've ever heard of him. I align with a lot of his thinking with nutrition and how food was created. And so really, I have a lot of thoughts on how the general public views food and eats. I think that the average person is destroying their health with food. That's my hot take. I said it, and I believe it. That's a video for another time. If you're interested in seeing that, maybe, I don't know, comment your ideas below. But everything I do is driven by my faith. So I do believe that I am honoring the Lord with the way I choose to eat. I see his creation and I see how beautiful it is and how beneficial the things that he has created for us are. Like, for example, garlic. There's so much intentional benefit in foods like garlic and oregano and turmeric and red meat, etc. Different herbs, and like, for example, I got this skin issue that I will show you a picture of here, but it was so bad. I probably had it for maybe 9 months and nothing was working. I went to like 3 or 4 different doctors because I was so desperate. Mind you, I haven't taken prescription medicine I've been married for 8 years, and I don't think I've taken it at all since I've been married. So that tells you, like, I can't even remember the last time I've taken it. I took many different ones because it was covering my face and it was spreading and I couldn't get it to stop, and none of that was working. So then my friend for my Bible study, she has a fig tree in her backyard, and I think she said it's in 2 Kings, but anyways, I don't know, or maybe she said one of the kings, I'm not sure, had a skin ailment, and so they treated it with some kind of fig paste or something. And so she made me a fig paste. I put it on it. What do you know? Gone. Just like that, gone. Amazing. God is amazing. He's so beautiful. And so the way that I eat, I really do see it as a way to honor the Lord. Food is a gift. It's a way of healing. The foods that we eat can either lead to death and destruction of our body or like health and healing. And I believe that. And I'm not an extremist. Don't get me wrong. I know I do eat a very healthy diet. But I'm not going to assume someone is sinning or dishonoring the Lord if they choose to eat like Twinkies or fast food or whatever. I think that there's room for to add in less nutritious foods. I don't think that it has to be some kind of extreme thing. Like every now and then whenever I go out to eat, I'll add something in that I wouldn't normally eat, which you'll actually get to see that in this video because I said it's going to be a realistic video. We ended up being able to get a babysitter, so I'll show you what I eat whenever I go out to dinner. You just have to listen to your own conviction as well, because that's going to play a part. All of our journeys are going to look different. I'm just showing you what I eat. I also think you need to be careful about seeing what I eat and trying to mimic that. Don't do that, because we all have different needs. Your body has different needs than my body. And so just kind of take it as inspiration. But just know, kind of what I believe about food, and why I choose to eat the way that I eat. The Holy Spirit dwells within me. My body is a temple, and this is how I honor the Lord with my health. And that's the way I eat is my conviction. And also know that I've been doing this for years. So healthy eating has always been one of my, and even researching has always been Weston A. Price. is one of my favorite, if I haven't mentioned that yet. I align with a lot of his views on health and nutrition, and so it's one of my hobbies to research these things. And so I love it, and you might not follow what I follow exactly, but I do think that you can find benefit from choosing more whole foods. I know you can. And I just think we've gotten so far from how God has designed food that we're eating food-like products made in a lab more than we are eating the foods that God has created for us. And it's such a shame, and our health is suffering, and our children's health is suffering. So it's time to get back to the way the food was created for us to enjoy. I want to teach you a little bit more about the animal-based diet as I do this video. If you'd like to see a full video on what an animal-based diet is and why I chose it and all the benefits I'm seeing from it, comment that below, because that's not what this video will be. This video is mainly about the types of food I eat and what I eat in a day. But yeah, there are some really cool things I've noticed eating an animal-based diet, and I started it as an experiment about a year ago, and I've never looked back because I feel amazing. And if I eat something that is like grains, like processed grains, because grains are just grown, sprayed, processed differently now than they used to be. They're just not the same. Within 24 hours, my knees will start hurting from inflammation. And so I really have noticed an immediate difference from eating an animal-based diet. But anyways, let's get to me showing you what I eat in a day. Okay, when I first wake up, it's about 5:30 a.m. I go straight to coffee. We all have our toxic traits. This is mine. I usually drink it on an empty stomach most of the time. Probably screw up my hormones for the day, so don't be like me. But I try to at least eat a That's It bar. You can see the nutrition labels and the ingredients on the back. It's great. And I drink it with black coffee, straight from a stainless steel French press to avoid microplastics. I'll start cooking breakfast about an hour and a half after waking up. I never used to like breakfast, but it's become a favorite. I cook my local farm fresh eggs on a cast iron. Opt out of nonstick, y'all. But anyway, so butter has a lower smoke point, and when oil is heated past its smoke point, it releases something called free radicals. It reacts with oxygen to form harmful compounds, and you definitely don't want to be consuming or breathing these in. Free radicals can injure cells and DNA in your body. So just keep that in mind. But we only cook with grass-fed butter or grass-fed tallow because we avoid seed oil. So I just try not to heat the pan too hot, especially when using the butter. So anyway, I eat about 4 to 5 eggs, 3 pieces of bacon, and bacon has no added natural flavors. Y'all are about to get multiple lessons in this video, and also no sugar. So natural flavor versus artificial flavor, it's different, but natural flavor just has to start from a natural source, like a plant or animal matter, but there's still chemical compounds that can be altered with many chemical additives. So it's very deceiving. I opt out of natural flavor. And I'll try to also add a healthy source of carbs like fruit or 100% fruit juice. And ideally, you want to eat, ideally before a workout, you'd want to do lower fats because fats take longer to digest. And you don't want your body using the energy that it could be using for the workout to digest the food. It also just kind of makes you feel a little heavier in the sense of harder to move and stuff. But ever since doing the animal-based diet, my workouts have honestly never been better. I obviously stick with higher protein and higher fat, but I find that 1.5 to 2 hours before I work out, when I eat before I work out, it does well for me. So you just have to find what does well for you. All right, now I am going to go ahead and get ready for the gym. I just changed out of my sweaty clothes into something a little more comfy, and now I'm making one of my favorite lunches. You can make it as tacos too, but I'm gonna be making it as kind of like a nacho thing. So let me show you. Something you may not know about me is that I was in an almost fatal car accident my senior year of high school. I had a traumatic brain injury. I finished school from home and got 3 more concussions the next 2 years from cheering in college. The last game I cheered, I got kicked in the head so hard my nose started bleeding. And now I get concussions pretty easily when my kids headbutt me on accident, or I run into a cabinet that everyone swears they did not leave open, or what have you. I used to get extremely bad headaches, brain fog, and memory issues, but since doing the animal-based diet and a parasite protocol, I've noticed that my brain feels clearer and I have an easier time remembering things. And there is a reason for that. It's not a coincidence. So Anatomy 101 for you. Did you know that about 70% of your brain is made up of fat? So your brain needs healthy fats to function well. So think avocado, whole fat, good quality dairy, preferably raw, grass-fed butter, fat from steak. Think about it this way. Proteins are made up of amino acids, stick with me here, which are the building blocks of the body. And many of these amino acids are involved in the production of neurotransmitters, which are chemicals that help transmit signals between nerve cells in the brain. So basically, your brain needs fat, both fat and protein, to function well. Your body needs protein to function well and heal well. I didn't have time for it today, but typically I would have had a raw milk smoothie about an hour and a half before lunch, which would have just been a banana, frozen strawberries, milk, and some honey. I like this because it's balanced with protein, fat, and carbs in there. But I never go hungry on an animal-based diet. It's satiating because of the higher fat content. It's filling. And a crazy thing is that I never get bloated. Even as you see my lunch here, it's full of fat, which has more calories per gram than protein or carbs, especially because I'm cooking my food in tallow, which is also high in fat. But I never get bloated from it. I never feel over full. My joints don't hurt. And I believe, again, it's because of the way that the grains are grown, sprayed, harvested, and prepared nowadays. It's just not the same. And it makes it inflammatory for most. But again, that's a video for another time. So I hope that you try this lunch. I think you'll really like it. Talk to you a little bit while I'm getting ready because tomorrow's my birthday and my husband and I are going out on a date tonight. And originally I thought the reason why I started recording this morning was because our first babysitter wasn't feeling well and so she canceled. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just record this today. And then we had another babysitter and who was able to watch our kids. And so I had the decision to either pretend tomorrow's dinner was tonight's dinner or just take you guys along on the process and kind of just take you a little bit on our date with us and just explain like what I was going to cook. So I'm going to do that because I said I wanted this to be realistic and this is realistic. It's literally what's happening. So right now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about an animal-based diet, what it is. So basically what I eat on an animal-based diet is honey, dairy, raw if I can, fruits, red meat, some other meats, and then some vegetables. So I know that there's an argument in the carnivore space that vegetables basically, some people even say they're trying to kill you. I'm not getting into that argument because I don't completely agree with them, but I will say vegetables such as like nightshade vegetables, like your tomatoes and even peppers, things like that, they can cause inflammation because of something called oxalates, and I have experienced that. Like the next day after I eat maybe red sauce or salsa or something, sometimes my knees will hurt. And that's always a really good indication if I've got headaches or knee pain the next day if I've eaten something that doesn't agree with me. So next I want to talk about macros. So I was a macro coach, a nutrition coach, because like I said, I worked as a person. This is a bad idea. I shouldn't do that while I'm talking. Yep, definitely messed up. So I was a personal trainer for a while and helped people with their macros, and I don't count my macros anymore, and I So I can't tell you exactly what macros I'm eating, but I can tell you that I eat obviously high protein, high fats. Every person I've ever worked with, literally every person that I've ever worked with, was not eating enough protein. So I can almost guarantee you that you're probably not eating enough protein. I wasn't eating enough protein before I started an animal-based diet either. So basically now I just focus on how I'm feeling. Kind of like intuitive eating is what I do. Honestly, I don't really pay attention to macros anymore or even like calories. I do think there's a benefit to it, especially if you have specific goals, but I don't think it's super necessary if you're doing something like the animal-based diet, because naturally you're probably going to be getting what you need anyways. You're probably going to be getting enough protein, just making sure that you're getting carbs, because I am an advocate for eating carbs. So intuitive eating, so I've noticed things like my hair is healthier, my sleep quality, my nails are stronger, not as brittle. Are you regular bathroom wise, different things like that. I choose to focus more on those things than I do specific numbers with macros and calorie counting. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish getting ready, and then we will reconvene when I show you what I ended up eating for dinner out. Creami, and it is raw milk, chocolate chip, well, not the chocolate chips yet. So it's raw milk, maple syrup, vanilla extract, and an egg yolk. We buy our eggs local too. So you mix all of that up and then put it in the freezer. And then when you make your Ninja Creami, when you add your mix-ins, I mix in the chocolate chips and the peanut butter, and then I top it with a little bit of salt when I put it in my bowl. So I know the peanut butter and the chocolate chips are technically not animal-based, but again, it's the worst thing that I eat. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And plus, it's a lifestyle for me, and so I have to make it something that will be maintainable for me, that I can truly do long term. So that's why I've decided to add that back in. I truly don't feel like I'm missing out, and I know that you can do an animal-based diet without feeling like you're missing out. My taste buds have changed to crave like real foods, and it might be challenging at first depending on where you're at in your journey with choosing whole foods. It might be hard to break those cravings and change those taste buds, but you'll start to find alternative, healthier things, like for example, this ice cream that I made, and you'll love it. You'll find great alternative things that you can just swap out as you go, that are just healthier and they're better for your body and they support your body better. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions about this carnivore, animal-based diet, whole food diet, please let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer you.